Hello folks, welcome to Study IQ. Today we are going to talk about United States of America and its foreign policy. I know it has been a rather redundant or a repetitive kind of a discussion, right? Because I'm quite aware that we have discussed the Biden policy from the time he's become president from January 2021. We have spoken about a lot of speculative discussions in the sense what might be his foreign policy with respect to Afghanistan, what might be his foreign policy in the Middle East, what would happen if Biden comes, does it impact India? We have also discussed about Asia, South Asia, we have discussed about the Indo-Pacific strategy, and recently we also spoke about how Joe Biden should follow Donald Trump. It was an article by Brahma Chalane where he suggested that Joe Biden should not be slack or he should not be very lenient on China. He should follow a strict Trump policy, right? So most of these discussions, they were based on speculations. They were based on many of the speeches that Joe Biden had given during his presidential debate from his previous 8 years as a vice president. What would he do or what might he do? But today, we are going to talk about an observation which has actually happened. We have got two speeches now where Joe Biden has categorically enunciated his foreign policy, what is going to be his foreign policy towards the entire world, an overview of his foreign policy. And recently at the Munich Security Conference, he clearly suggested what are his ideas about the Europe and what are his ideas with respect to China. So in this discussion, we are going to talk about Biden's foreign policy from his own speeches and how, based on his foreign policy, his steps, China has rather changed its stance with respect to India. A very, very important discussion. So if you're preparing for some competitive exam, this becomes a very, very relevant topic for you, especially for GS2 paper where we talk about international relations. And if you're from political science background, this article was written by Shyam Saran. He's a former foreign secretary. He also writes for Center for Policy Research. So you can always quote his ideas in your answers. So a lot is going to be learned from this particular video. So stay tuned. But before all the discussion starts, I am your friend Rahul Saigamkar. And if you want to follow me, you can follow me on the IDs that are given here. If you have any doubts, any queries, you can directly connect with me. You can message me on Instagram. I do reply on Saturdays and Sundays. Right. Apart from that, we have a golden opportunity for those who are preparing for civil services examination, those who are preparing for CSE 2021, the UPSC exam for entry to IAS and IPS. We have a smart course for you which includes prelims and mains. And we all know that the notification for the examination has come. The last date for filling the application is March 24. So you have an opportunity to fill the form, right? And just go through our website, just go through the app, download it from Google Play Store and check out the features. We have a prelims test series, we have mains content, we have videos, we have a lot of content which will be very, very helpful for you from exam point of view. And we also have EMI facility available. And please do not forget to subscribe to Study IQ. Right. Let's talk about the news first, why we are talking about all these things. The entire world is watching Joe Biden completely as he takes charge or as he took charge from January 2021. Everybody is watching him. What would be his policy on Afghanistan? What would be his policy on Iran? If he takes some decision in Iran, what is going to happen to the West Asian region? Overall, what is going to be the impact of United States? Because US is a big, big nation. Whatever decisions it takes, whatever its foreign policy is, it has repercussions or consequences on the entire world. And that is why everybody keeps a very, very keen eye on Joe Biden and his administration. And we are also doing the same thing. That's why we have discussed so many times, a lot of speculative discussion, a lot of predictions that about what Biden is going to do. But today, we are going to specifically talk about two speeches that Joe Biden gave. From that, we have understood what his foreign policy will be. The first speech was made at the State Department in February 2021, where Joe Biden clearly spelled out the broad ideas of his foreign policy. He said that US foreign policy is going to focus on multilateral diplomacy. Now, what Biden said that he is going to actively engage at the global level. We all know that the Trump administration for 4 years had taken a step back. It took a step back from the global engagement. It brought its soldiers out from the conflict areas, from Afghanistan, from Africa, from West Asia. And Trump's argument was that why should only United States contribute towards this world peace and stability? Everybody should do their bit. But Joe Biden, being a global leader, he has clearly suggested that he's going to go for global engagement. He suggested that we are going to work very closely with allies. We are going to promote multilateralism. And two important factors are we going to uphold the democratic values and we are going to protect the human rights also, right? And on the basis of this, if we look at the broad idea of his foreign policy and the decisions that he took in the first 1.5 months, 2 months are absolutely in line with these foreign policies. Let's look at some of the decisions that he took, Biden, right? The first decision he took was to join the Paris Climate Agreement at the global level. United States is not now going to contribute towards the climate change fight. Trump had taken a step back. He actually reneged or came out of the Paris Climate Agreement. But now Biden has again acceded to Paris Climate Agreement, and very soon he has actually called a meeting of all the major emitting nations. India is also invited in April, and they are going to come up with a plan for mitigation towards climate change. And many experts and the reports are coming that in April, United States is going to come up with its own INDC, intended a nationally determined commitment to fight the climate change. Now, apart from that, again, at the global level, he did rejoin WHO. We all know this, World Health Organization. In fact, he not just joined WHO, he has also pledged $4 billion of money for COVID-19 partnership initiative. Now, in line with his thoughts on the human rights issue, the democratic principles issue, US has announced that they're going to end support to the Saudi Arab, especially in the civil war in Yemen. Also, the US administration has been very tough on Saudi Arab in West Asia, especially over the entire killing of the journalist Jamal Khashoggi in Saudi Arab. So, whatever he said over the democratic values, human rights, he is actually living up to the expectations in West Asia and in other parts as well. In the speech, the mention of China was also done with respect to the Xinjiang region and the atrocities there. Apart from that, there was an indication now of the Iran nuclear deal, which is up for revival. Although Biden administration is not taking quick steps here. It is waiting and watching what exactly Iran will do. Will Iran comply if the nuclear deal revives? They are waiting for Iran's response. So a slow and steady development over this is quite likely in the upcoming months, and we will continuously follow this for sure. So whatever broadly Biden had said, he has started taking action on that. All right. Apart from that, recently, again in February 2021, at the special edition of MSC Munich Security Conference, whose motto is Beyond Restlessness, Renewing Transatlantic Cooperation, Meeting Global Challenges, Biden further elaborated his foreign policy posture at length in this particular Munich Security Conference. Now, what did Biden say? Biden's speech, it suggested that he wants to revive the transatlantic alliances. He said that the alliance between United States and European Union is the alliance for 21st century. It is the cornerstone of all we are going to achieve in 20th century. In fact, he said that US and the European Union are a hope that whatever we have planned to achieve in 21st century, without these two players, it is not possible. So clear-cut indication has been given by Biden towards Europe and European Union that he wants a closer tie between US and EU. However, there is a lot of challenge ahead of Joe Biden here, because already during the Trump's time, it was tumultuous between European Union and United States. We all know that Germany and France versus the Trump administration, it led to a lot of problems. And in fact, right now in front of Biden is a policy challenge that EU is finalizing an investment agreement with China. Although the agreement has not been ratified, but as of December 2020, the agreement has been finalized and it is pending the ratification by European Parliament and other European bodies. So this particular is with respect to China. Apart from that, there is another Nord Stream pipeline, the gas pipeline with Russia, Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2. Now, both these projects are being led by Germany. I would say Germany is right now the de facto leader of European Union, and Germany is leading on both these fronts. Apart from this, if we talk about the 5G revolution, many of the European countries have now backtracked over the Chinese deals. Whatever Chinese deals were made with respect to 5G, many countries have rejected them. But still, Germany is one country which is still pursuing the 5G relationship with China, which is again a huge problem for Joe Biden going into future. Nonetheless, a clear-cut foreign policy indication has now gone towards European Union that US wants better ties with them going into future, right? Now, in this particular speech at the Munich Security Conference, he also mentioned his China policy, although not a lot of clarity has come, but whatever he said from his speech, we can infer a few things. The first thing is that he spoke of a strategic competition with China. In fact, Biden said that one must prepare for a long-term strategic competition with China, and he said this competition is going to be really, really stiff going into future. He said that democracy has taken a back step in our times and he wants to promote democracy. He also said a lot of competition is going to come from China, but one needs to focus on a few words. Biden said that Chinese threat or the Chinese competition is more of economic in nature. It is related to money, it is related to dollars. It is not a security threat per se. It's a very, very important indication from his speech where he said our competition, that means US competition with China, is more in terms of economy, not in terms of security. But Russia, which is already perceived as a security threat here, is not comparable with China. He said China is the economic threat, but Russia is a security threat for the United States of America. Now, based on this line, it's quite clear that there would be some sort of rapprochement going into future with China. Perhaps a possible reset is on cards. If it is a simple economic competition, a possible reset is quite possible. But right now, many foreign policy experts do suggest that Biden might not change drastically the entire Chinese foreign policy, whichever Trump followed. Slowly and steadily, there might be some progress. Now, a very important thing for us, we Indians, right? What about India? Now, in both the speeches, before also, now also, India was not mentioned specifically. Right? Although India did get a call after all the alliance partners, India got a call, right? But there was no mention of India or even Indo-Pacific specifically in this particular speech, right? So, what can we understand? Is India not a priority area for USA? Is Indo-Pacific not a priority area for USA? Actually not, because Biden might have missed on this speech because he was specifically talking about Europe, because the Munich Security Conference, it brings the players from European Union and from USA on a single platform to discuss about the international security issues, right? So he might have missed India for sure, but whatever his initial developments or initial decisions have been, they have been pro-Indo-Pacific, right? What Biden did, he has appointed a key advisor, Kurt Campbell, for his Indo-Pacific strategy. That means when a president is appointing a special person for a special region, Indo-Pacific, that means he has not neglected the region. This clearly shows that Biden is very, very serious about Indo-Pacific and he wants to pursue the Quad. In February, the United States also called the third ministerial meeting of Quad, where we know that there is United States, there is India, there is Japan, and there is Australia, right? Now, this clearly gave a signal to China. Now, I told you at the initial discussion, based on all these things, China has changed its tack or China has reversed its policy. We all know in May, June 2020, there were a lot of clashes which took place in Galwan between India and China. Losses were seen from both the sides, right? Our soldiers were martyred there. Same happened with China also. We know that. But recent news has come, there is disengagement between India and China. And what has perhaps happened here? Now, we all know that Biden's foreign policy toward China would be a rather mellowed down version of Trump. So, China had actually thought that Biden may not follow his thought process on Quad, right? The Indo-Pacific strategy or Quad. But by appointing Kurt Campbell, Biden has clearly shown that Indo-Pacific is there to stay, Quad is there to stay. So Chinese reaction has also come. Now, Chinese foreign ministers has suggested that US-China relations have to reset. In fact, the China's foreign minister has said that whatever US tariffs and trade measures were brought by Donald Trump during the trade war era in the last 4 years, they have to be reversed. But experts suggest that this is not going to happen anytime soon. So Biden is going to follow a cautious approach here with respect to China. But on the Quad, after appointment of Kurt Campbell and after the third ministerial meeting, the Chinese media actually dismissed the meeting as a toothless photo opportunity and they completely rejected the prospect of Quad emerging as an Asian NATO. Now, this clearly shows some jitteriness from China. Chinese are actually wary about the development of the Quad, and that is why reports have been coming. They have been dismissing Quad, but this clearly shows that they are observing Quad, they are observing the Quad meetings. In fact, in a recent Chinese Global Times editorial, something has been suggested for India. It's a very, very important thing to note here. And this is in line with the disengagement that is taking place between India and China. They suggested that it is not in the interest of India to put all its eggs in the US basket, right? What Chinese Times, basically Chinese Global Times newspaper in an editorial suggested that it is not in interest of India to tie itself completely with United States. Now, it did highlight that India and US, they need each other probably to counter China or probably to deal with China. But it also highlighted they both have their independent calculations, because China is dependent on USA and vice versa, and China is dependent on India, vice versa, right? They highlighted one core thing from our foreign policy, right? Chinese said, although India moving closer to United States or Washington is quite understandable, but India's non-alignment core, the so-called non-alignment policy that we used to follow right from beginning, that is the core of India, and it is still in India's fundamental interest. Now, what can we infer from these statements from the Chinese Foreign Ministry, from the Chinese media, is that China is now looking for some sort of rapprochement with us. And that is why we are looking at disengagement. And it has something to do with Biden's foreign policy towards China, right? So it's going to be a really, really interesting game going into forward. Everybody is watching Biden through his speeches, although not a lot of clarity, or I would say nitty-gritties have come, but an overview of his foreign policy has surely come, right? With respect to Indo-Pacific, it is going to continue. With respect to Quad, it is going to continue. With respect to China, United States clearly views China as an economic threat for sure, right? So we'll keep an eye over this. We'll watch out for this. And if any update comes, we'll bring it to you as soon as possible on Study IQ. But I'd like to end my discussion with a very simple factual data here. We spoke here about Munich Security Conference. So it becomes imperative for us to discuss this particular part, because sometimes in examination, a lot of MCQs can come over these things. Munich Security Conference, a question can come, consider the following with respect to Munich Security Conference. It takes place in Munich, France. It's a wrong statement. You need to remember that Munich is in Germany. It comes in the Bavaria province and it's in Germany, right? And Munich Security Conference, it has been an annual event right since 1963. Now, since 1960s, this has become a very, very important platform for many countries. More than 70 countries participate. The leaders participate. The security experts participate. It's not just about the leaders, but it's about the NGO, it's about the expert, it's about the citizen involvement. So it brings many people on this particular platform where they talk about international security, they talk about international security issues and how to make world more peaceful and more stable. Now, in general, the conference takes place in February every year, but you need to remember something about 2021. This was not a conference. Please remember that Munich Security Conference in February 2021 has been postponed, right? A future date is going to come up. Whenever it happens, we'll discuss that on Study IQ for sure. But right now, a special edition of Munich Security Conference did take place where Joe Biden gave this speech. And another factual information that you need to remember is the venue of this Munich Security Conference is Hotel Bayerischer Hof in Munich in Bavaria in Germany. So please remember these factual information. A simple question or a MCQ can be formed on these MCQ, like consider the following statements regarding the Munich Security Conference. One or two statements can come and options can be made over this. That is it from my side on this part of discussion. Thank you for watching. Jai Hind.